Baby Doll Cult members, welcome back. You know it's a good day when I got the Red Bull background and the Kaleidoscope glasses on. Oh, I cannot see crap on these. Oh, this is tough, but they're on today because amazing morning. I woke up and I saw $25 million get moved and start buying ETH on CowSwap, and it's by a entity who is pretty amazing. And I'm trying not to get dizzy right now. I'm going to do this for another minute or so. It hurts. It hurts, but I do it for you all. I do it for you all, don't I? It's kind of fun. Kind of fun to see the Kaleidoscope glasses on. Anyways, what do people use these for? Like raves? Like how does this make experiences better? I'm not sure. Like I can't even like where's the mouse? Where are my hands? They're everywhere. And not to mention the fact is it's morning time. I have had some coffee. I'll say that I've had some coffee. Anyways, yes, amazing stuff has happened this morning. Once again, it's been not dull mornings the last few times. And boy, are your bodies ready? Are your bodies ready for this bull market? Because mine is. I'm ready. I'm locked. I'm loaded. I'm positioned. I know how to stake. I know how to yield farm. If you don't know how to do all that stuff, go realdefi.com. We'll help you out. All right, I can't do it anymore. I'll be right back. And we're back. We're back to a regular scheduled programming. That was like I said, I don't know what people use them for. Maybe raves. They're fun though. Anyways, let me say out to the chat before we get into the big news, which I just gave you a preview for. Oi, Red Squirrel. You've been here for a while, man. I saw that comment a while. I was like, he's trying to be number one again. Trying to be number one. What's up? Hey, Hedgeho. How's it going? Honey drippers, best ecosystem, best community, best founder, best fundamentals. I agree with all four of those. I do. So much more. Back. What's up, Travion? Travion. Let me know how to pronounce your name so make sure I'm getting it correct. Nice glasses. Yep. I did it. I did it for the lulz. I did it as long as I could. Slap. How's it going? Slap. That's the tongue twister right there. I like this market. Hex edits. I like this market as well. Just call me Tay. I shall call you Tay if I remember to. I'll try. It sounds good at the time. I'll try to remember to do that though. Red Squirrel, muscles in the chat. Reminds me of biceps in the chat from GRC. Anyways, let me. It's gonna be a short one because I got a pool party stream later today around 7:00 Eastern. So it's late afternoon my time, but evening time for the East Coasters out there. But give me just a moment and I will talk about the cool stuff going on. And I got a link or two pulled up. Let me refresh my own doc here. Oh, Chronic Carl's got a comment. PLS worst performing L1 in history. Well, Carl, if crypto ended today, yeah, you may be somewhat correct. But the good thing is, bull market seems just to have started. So we got a chance. We got a chance. I think so. All right, give me just a second. Okay. My notes are a little bit messy this morning. It's weird when you wake up and you put a bunch of stuff together and then decide, hey, this is interesting enough to do a show on, to go out of my way to do a show. I'm supposed to be taking a run right now. Actually, supposed to be sitting at my squeaky chair, just hanging out and enjoying my morning. But this dang whale, man, he just won't stop. Won't stop doing fun stuff. Anyways, yeah, so this is what I posted this morning. I got my alerts. By the way, if you want to know what I use for alerts and stuff, let me know. I can talk about that as well. But yeah, first thing, woke up. So I was like, oh, I got a couple alerts coming in for this, and I saw, hey, $25 million. That sounds interesting. And then it was 25 million, and then the 3 ETH. I think I've been seeing a pattern where when the money gets moved into a new wallet, it'll be like some large amount of DAI, for example, and then 3 ETH. And I'm like, it's like, it makes sense, right? Because gas fees and stuff. They want plenty of ETH to do gas fees if they need to. If gas fees are crazy, but I talked about this yesterday when I talked about rich people making moves and stuff. They don't care about paying gas fees. Like whatever it is, like you're not gonna be like, oh no, I don't want to pay this $200 gas fee to move $25 million. Like you just don't care. You're not gonna, you're not gonna try and lose money, but at the same time, cannot care. You cannot care about that. Rich people have a way different mindset than normal. So like 3 ETH, which is plenty for transactions. Even if you got to pay, that's like around 10K, right? So even if you got to pay $1,000 for a transaction to get it through, if you're trying to make a move that may make millions of dollars, you don't care to pay $1,000 ETH transaction. Like you gotta, look at different mindsets and stuff on this. So that went through, and then I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then all of a sudden I started getting more alerts and seeing more transactions. I'm like, oh, $25 million. So they approved 25 million. This is what threw me for a loop. I saw they did a cow swap they changed 1 million DAI into 282 ETH. I'm like, okay, they're cool. Don't know what that's for yet, but interesting. And then I saw they approved not just the 1 million, not just 5 million, 10 million. They approved the entire 25 million for cow swap, which makes you think they may be sending that entire $25 million through cow swap at some point, at some time, because they've approved that much. So they're interested in using that much, for example. So, just posted more links for transactions. DBank is really awesome to visualize a lot of stuff too. And then I just kept seeing more and more come in. I was like, man, there's another couple transactions. It just keeps being 1 million DAI. And it looks like, I guess the ETH price moved up to that point. And I guess maybe they're trying to avoid slippage, or I'm not sure like why $1 million, why not, one big, I guess maybe slippage or just, other risk mitigations otherwise. But I saw a couple more. I'm like, man, okay, is this a pattern? It's going to keep, and yes, they did just keep coming. And then shout out to Storyteller. I saw that he got to, he started covering it as well, talking about that. And I'll get to that in a minute because that's an interesting tweet. And then literally I'm like, cow swap, Ethereum maker people, do you see all these transactions, all this money coming through buying Ethereum with DAI and all that? So pretty cool. And then, if you want to go to speculation here, Storyteller has been following a lot of the DAI and transaction stuff recently as well. Tweets, over the past hour, 2 wallets directly related to SAC funds have moved 26.5 million DAI. Does really good analysis on this stuff. A lot deeper than what, I don't do deep analysis. I just say, hey, this is what's happening. A lot of times I can see it fast and get to it. But I love the commentary, the analysis, probably using different tools and stuff too. Funds then started to convert to ETH and expect them to be bridged to Pulse soon. So that's an interesting one. So, speculation converted to ETH and then bridging ETH to PulseChain. So yeah, chat, speculate on what do you think bridging the ETH to PulseChain would do. Is there a liquidity play here? Is there more buying going to happen? We can see, let's check out the bridge real quick. See what we got right now, 170 million. So right now, 170 million, and then 30 million of ETH. So will that turn into 50 million ETH bridged over or more? And will that bridged over ETH, will it buy PulseChain, PulseX, Inc., Hex, like the previous entity related stuff have done with, I think that was with DAI though. Or, if you go real DeFi, click on exchange, head to PulseX, we'll look at the farms. We can see there's farms here with ETH, USDC, ETH, DAI, this is DAI, PLS, USDC, PLS and stuff. And then we got the wrapped ETH. So it's a wrapped ETH and PLS farm. So that's the thing though. So if you're thinking liquidity play, even though, look at that APR pretty high. Again, these are all, go check out the different risk factors and why these are weighted certain ways and all that stuff. But the decorrelated tweet makes me think maybe it's not going to be paired with PLS, because if Richard's suggesting that we're decorrelated, or he wants us to be decorrelated, or otherwise, or other entities want that, then that would be maybe it wouldn't go in the pairing for that if the whole strategy is to be like decorrelated up and to the right, for example. Again, just speculation. So pretty cool on that. Who knows what's going to happen? Or buy the ETH and choose through sell. Well, that's an interesting one too. So let's go to info.uniswap. If we type in hex, even though they won't let you trade it on their platform, but there's plenty of pools available for it. There is a pool. So you got the hex. So let's just go to hex and the pools. So we have a hex USDC pool, 6.93 million TVL. We got $1 million in the ETH pool. So I guess, yeah, one speculation you look at too is this an ETH related play, either liquidity providing or to buy up the ETH or something? Yeah, I guess you could go in that direction. Not sure. I dropped this in the chat because if anybody wants to look at it. I just wanted to saw that comment and thought, okay, a lot of people are interested in thinking about ETH. Why isn't it moving? Go to the stats. Nothing much is moving except incentive recently. Recently hit $6, by the way. If you don't know much about incentive token, I did a stream where I covered a lot of that stuff yesterday, and then I've done a ton of content. Just literally, or just go to Real DeFi and click farming. I guess that's the easiest way to get to it. GoRealDeFi.com, learn to earn, click farming. And it'll talk about different incentive token and just all kinds of different videos on my channel and other people's channels and stuff too. So pretty interesting over there. All right, I'll take a break and talk to the chat in just a second. Yeah, and I also dropped the if anyone wants to look at this too, the DBank. I mean, it's in the tweet as well, but here's the portfolio of the wallet. It's been making a lot of transactions. Yeah, $25 million. So a lot of these transactions happened within a couple hours ago. So let's see, like the portfolio. Yeah, got about 4,500 ETH. So we got 9,000 DAI and about 4,500 ETH. Whew. What a great time to be a millionaire, especially in crypto. So, all right, let me get to chat. Transactions, anybody want to see that? Pretty cool. Joey, exciting news, Max. What do you think? Entity swap to DAI for ETH? Yeah, that's the play. We went over a couple of different scenarios. I mean, again, if you frame it in a benevolent way, strategies and stuff, you have liquidity providing, you have buys, you have. I mean, there's been a lot of essentially staking, right? There've been a lot of yield plays just to earn passive income. This one looks way different than the other ones. This is actual swaps from DAI to ETH instead of staking DAI for yield, as we've seen, which, there's different ways to look at that. Is that for perpetual buy pressure? over time, like the vampire attack on Ethereum protocols to provide yield for buying pressure on PulseChain. Yeah, I'm sure it'll, in hindsight, it's always made. I think about this. I'm like, when Lex Friedman interviews Richard Hart in 2025, or 2030 or something like that, and if Richard ever talks about a lot of stuff or his plans or the entities who perform the actions or give us any insight like that, well, first I think it'd be obvious in hindsight at some point once we see what happens with this. But speculating when it first happens is tough, because if there's not a clear move other than buying ETH, you don't know. Even if you say, okay, it's probably gonna be bridged to PulseChain, or maybe something with ETH or something. There's not like this clear connection to the dots. Now, Max 6 months from now, or Max tomorrow, may say, oh, look, it was so obvious once you connect the dots. But yeah, at this moment, just got pure speculation. But I have a feeling it's good for the ecosystem. I'll say that. Anything else? Your Twitter feed is hell information. Thanks for everybody. Yeah, appreciate that, man. I do try to keep I post stuff and I don't look at the comments and stuff as much anymore. And so, if you've asked a question or otherwise, and I don't respond or something, just a lot of times I just don't read stuff, or I just don't have time. I really try not to spend a lot of time. I try to provide the information, but I don't spend a lot of time. And I was watching the Tucker Carlson interview with Lex Friedman. I've been watching bits at a time. And what he said the other day was really interesting. He talked about he doesn't want to poison his mind by reading stuff on the internet. And he kind of, elaborated on that about, I forget maybe that was in regard to the comments and posts and stuff like that. And I thought, man, that's a really cool way to look at it too, because, I do like to provide information. I do like to engage from time to time, but honestly, there's a lot of toxic stuff out there too. So, and I try to avoid it, but you can only avoid it so much by just, doing the run of the mill stuff. So I really try. I use Twitter as an information tool of how I gain an edge and how I'm able to bring information to you all as well. I don't use it that much for entertainment. I was thinking about this morning. I think I want to start tracking the time I spend on Twitter. I don't think it's that much, because when I do it, it's very surgical. It's very much, okay, let's see updates. Let's see if, somebody responded to a question, or somebody wants to do a stream or whatever. What are people talking about? Like, what's interesting right now that I think is also interesting, which I could talk about. But I don't just doom scroll. I get bored every once in a while. Maybe I'll doom scroll for I'll be looking up the PulseChain hashtag or something to see if I'm missing some piece of key information. But for the most part, anyways, my point is I haven't been looking at comments and stuff on social media as much, but I do try to provide a lot of information. So FYI, yeah, appreciate that though. Thinking of bridging over, but it's about $50 ETH fees, much bit for what I'm sending. Yeah, I mean, if you're sending a few dollars or whatever, that's different than sending thousands of dollars and stuff. So the bridge is free, still free as of now. I did a bridge update stream and the other day and talked about how to see the differences between, and who knows in the future what will change as far as the fee goes. But as of now, it's still free. But Richard said it wouldn't be free forever. And he also has been daring people to sell the coins. And you could call Rage Pump or whatever recently. So maybe there'll be a Rage fee edition. If it's like the meme, if this fee, these fees are too damn high. If this bridge traffic doesn't pick up, I'm going to Rage turn on the fees because people aren't taking advantage of it enough. Chad, what is the sack Chad up to? I don't know, Chad. If only I had a brain as big as something that's literally popping out of a helmet in space, maybe I could provide some better information here, but I'm doing my best. However, I defer to you, Chad Donnersponds. You are the Chad that makes the Chads, pretty much. Chad. Chit chat. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Oh, well games. Yeah, could be the Chad well games happening. That's true. This should be. Let's see. What are pros and cons of bridging DAI versus ETH and PulseChain? I mean, you can buy EHEX on PulseChain. You can buy Hex on Ethereum and bridge it to PulseChain. But as far as, I mean, zero fees. So bridging DAI versus ETH, I can't think of anything there off the top of my head. Pulse Earth Plane. Can I do a tiny giveaway to the audience if they want worth $80 right now? I prefer, I talked about the tokens and projects and stuff I like in our I promote and stuff in the chat. So yeah, if it's a Telegram thing, yeah, only mods can post links and stuff. So I appreciate you asking though. Thank you for asking. But in general, I'll try to keep it to a very small group of stuff I've talked about on the show before. And also, of course, the blue chip stuff. So thank you for asking though. I appreciate that. EHEX on stake is ridiculous. I know it sucks. There's so many, but again, that's the thing. It's like if it's a small stake, but okay, here's the best gem. I said this yesterday. The best gem I can give you on that. As of now, the in-stake fees on Ethereum may be more than what the stake is worth. However, we've seen the Hex price go down a lot over the last couple of years. If you believe it's going to go up in value after it went down a lot, the stakes, who may be bleeding out today, which again sucks, but they may be worth more in the future. So if you spend $100 to end an EHEX stake today to get 10,000 hex, yeah, let me pull up the hex calc real quick. Just so, or I'll do coin paprika so I can make this point. So today we got, 10,000 hex is around $100. So let's say you have a $100 gas fee, and to unlock, your 10,000 hex that you staked, maybe it's 10,000, 12,000, whatever. It's like, oh, that sucks. It's worth the gas fee is more than the in-stake fee, right? But what if that 10,000 hex, hexcalc.net, what if that 10,000 hex, let's see, let's just keep it at a penny for now for simplicity. This is a great website, by the way. I recommend everyone, hexcalc.net, hexcalc.net. So what if in the future, so let's say that's worth, $90 today, something like that. But let's say it goes to 10 cents. So all of a sudden, let's just see. I just want to get like values and stuff. All of a sudden, instead of $90 or $100, it's worth $1,000. And you paid that $100 in-stake fee to get that 10,000 hex, and that 10,000 hex turned into $1,000. So now if you're thinking about the future value of what you think it may be, paying the 10%, although it's still not great, paying the 10% in the stake to get the hex instead of letting it, it's like you got to weigh that too. It may make more sense, right? Especially if what if it does 100x? Now you got, let's just put it at $1. Let's put everyone's favorite price. Let's put it at $1. Now you got $10,000. But you got to, am I going to let it bleed out? If I believe hex is going to go up in price, the question I ask myself is, am I going to let it bleed out? How long I'm going to let it bleed out to get or pay that ETH gas fee, which is high, but I get that hex, which may be worth more later. So yeah, just want to give you that perspective, because it's very easy to be like, oh, it's not worth paying it right now. But if you don't pay it, you're going to be bleeding out over time. And if you wait a year, if you wait until the hex is worth more than the gas fee, you may have already lost a bunch of that hex. It's so it's just another way to look at it. That's the way I look at it too. And there are some, if I'm looking at a stake and it's just not like, I need to take this advice myself. some too, because there's some stakes I look at and they're just small stakes and they're bleeding out and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to do it right now. But I also need to think of future value. You know, I love how Coffee talks about it. What is the value? Or, you know, I think he's talked about treating hexes. Every hex is $1. So if he sells 1 million hexes, like he's selling $1 million, that sort of thing. Do I want to sell $1 million? Because if you think it's going to be $1 million in the future, you know, and you're selling it today for not $1 million, all that stuff. So I hope that makes sense. So someone on Telegram just commented, bridging the PLS is smart. It makes it hard to cash out lead because when things are pumping. Yeah. I mean, that is another step. It's kind of like being a validator, you know, locking up your PLS to be a validator. Even though the PLS price is down, if it goes up in the future, then it makes you hang on to it more because it's not just like click, sell. You got to like exit the validator, all this stuff. And you've already got that sunk cost fallacy or that sunk cost mental model in there as well, but in a positive way or hopefully in a positive way, where you've already done all this work to set it up and now you just don't want to end it for nothing type of thing. That can help, you know, delay gratification as well. What's up, Keenus? Do you think we'll get a significant dip again in PLS Hex PX? I don't know. I would, Richard's, one of his famous phrases is dipped in the game. But I'm sure glad we have a entity who appears to be a multi-billionaire on-chain wallet buying coins. So even if there are dips, you know, how many dips are there going to be to 100x? I mean, if you look historically, there's probably more than 0, but then you get 100x, that sort of thing. If that happens, I'm not saying it's going to happen, obviously, but if that happens, that'd be cool. I've got to keep questions live feed. Yeah, man. That's a good idea. Yeah. And if I don't, like I said, it's not like I've stopped answering questions and stuff and interactions on Twitter. I'm just saying in general, if you don't get an answer, you know, maybe I didn't see it, or maybe I'm just busy or something. I try to focus my energy in different directions. And if you ask a question on live stream, you feel free to @ me on Twitter and ask again. No expectations, but if I miss them here, if I can, I'll try to answer them from time to time. All right. I got to run because I want to take a run. This is my run time right now. But yeah, I hope you're informed, better informed. A lot of interesting stuff happening. We got a lot of cool stuff happening. Again, gorealdefi.com and check out Learn to Earn if you are new or you just want to use the PulseChain apps, the verified IPFS gateway stuff. Got a ton of content on that there if you're interested as well. And that's all I got for you today. Well, sorry. Correct myself. That's not all I got for you today. I got a pool party stream, pulled hex staking on PulseChain Ethereum coming up with Gold Key and Hexgeta in a few hours. So come back for that. It'll be great. Scivive and 5555. We're out.